Just ahead on Crossroads, the warmer weather is opening up some road hazards. See how city crews are filling in the potholes.
We'll talk with Layla Price and Lacey Harness about severe weather preparedness.
Peace Force Martial Arts from College Wesleyan Church joins us for a demo in self-defense.
And see how some local couples are moving to the beat with salsa lessons. It's all just ahead on Crossroads. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Crossroads. I'm Randall King.
And I'm Shaylee Clark.
And you are a chipper, happy mid-March person, I've noticed.
The warmer weather. I got to drive my car with the windows down the other day. That was like the most exciting highlight so far.
People get crazy around here when it gets like 54, don't they?
It just feels like 90.
Do you have this fear that it's going to come back around, like there's going to be a cold snap or a late March snow?
You know what? I have full confidence in you, Indiana. You're not going to do that to us. I've already retired the coat. I'm just wearing the jacket. Full confidence.
Spring might actually coincide with the calendar saying it's spring.
It's going to happen. I'm calling it now. It's going to happen.
Well, one thing I know that's going to happen, even if we have a cold snap, even if we stay warm or get warmer, is potholes. Now you know this area. You know that's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
You get some water on the road. You get that warmer weather.
And it just seems like they appear just out of nowhere.
I've noticed them already. I've noticed them already, and it hasn't even been that warm consistently yet. So
until you hit them, and then you really notice them.
It's going to be bad. You know, it's something we always grumble about in Indiana, in the Midwest, and it seems like they're always there. But Stephanie McCracken found out there's a team in the city contracted to fix just that. They're out filling and refilling already, a seemingly endless task, just so you don't end up in a hole.
There are plenty of hazards that follow along the cracks in the road, making a big inconvenience for drivers. Most people avoid them, but potholes are everywhere, and sometimes you just can't miss. But for as quick as they pop up, a team is just as quickly filling them in.
We have two ways that we go after potholes. The typical way is what you see in the back of a truck, where we have a cold patch material that we get from a local provider, and then the street department has a Durapatcher that is a machine that has a hot box on it and uses a liquid asphalt and then puts stone down. This is probably the quickest. It's just hand done and thrown in.
The crew can only do the temporary fix until the warmth is more consistent, but this team moves fast. And if those cracks split open again, the crew will be back.
We've been at this for about probably 3 weeks now, 2-3 weeks. The biggest problem is the moisture under the ground. It's still freezing and thawing, so we're just throwing the material in. It lasts a little while, the freeze will hit again, it'll pop it back out, and we're putting it back in. So it's just trying to stay ahead of the game, which you really don't until you can get hot patch material to actually bind it a little bit better. This is just a quick fix.
It's a process that isn't easy, but the city engineering crews are working hard and often to get those pesky potholes filled in.
The more traffic goes over it, the more the water penetrates back into the asphalt and it just crumbles back out. So it seems like you're there one day and you go back the next day and it's right back again. It's just very frustrating.
So good news from here if your car has fallen victim. They may not disappear overnight, but eventually, with a little TLC and warmer temperatures, smooth driving will come. For Crossroads, I'm Stephanie McCracken.
You know, Randall, like we were saying earlier, well, maybe I'm just a bad driver. I don't know. But it just seems like you're going down the road and then all of a sudden you just come upon it and it's too late. And
you have to keep your eyes open. The other thing you got to do is stay patient. I know, because I've been out with those crews before, no matter what they do and how many places they get, it's not enough because my street isn't fixed or my street was fixed and it's not better. So everyone's got legitimate reasons to complain, but it's a big job.
Yeah, it's easy to get upset, but it is getting done as we just saw.
And as it gets warmer, time to get it fixed. Well, when we come back, it's that time of year, so we're going to hear all about severe weather preparedness.
Layla Price from WeatherWise and Lacey Harness from Emergency Management help us get ready.
Well, welcome back to Crossroads. Spring may bring the warmth that we love, but it also means the beginning of severe weather season. We've got Layla Price here with Economic Development and Lacey Harness from the Grant County Emergency Management to talk about severe weather preparedness, and we've been talking about weather-wise for a while. Layla, now we slide from people, nobody wants to talk about snow and ice anymore.
No, we're done.
But we got to think about thunderstorms. So what are some of the things that we've got to be aware of other than the normal stuff?
Well, coming up is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. It's March 15th through the 21st. And I wanted to bring on Deputy Director Lacey Harness of the Grant County Emergency Management Agency, and she's going to talk about some really important things for Grant County residents to know.
Well, let's talk about Lacey first. What is it that those who don't know that emergency management serves? What are they here to do?
Well, one of the biggest things we do is we try to reach out to the public and keep them aware of whatever it is that's going on, severe weather emergencies, heaven forbid a terrorist attack, anything like that. We try to plan for what our county is able to do in those situations, but we also try to reach out to the public and make sure that they're aware of things that they can do as citizens to prepare for themselves too.
And how far do you even plan for something like that? Because I know that, you don't want to expect the worst can happen, but it really can, especially, with tornadoes and severe weather.
Well, the beauty of it is the plans kind of work in a universal capacity. It used to be that you would have a plan for every single type of emergency. Now they've kind of looked at it and said, it's easier to have one plan that kind of crosses over all different type of emergency situations. So we have one plan and it helps cover severe emergencies, weather, terrorist attack, anything. It prepares the county by using one plan instead of 15.
Okay, well, we want to talk about tools, and I bet people who've lived around here for a while think they know what to do. I got my weather radio, I got what I need, I can listen for the siren. What else do they need to know?
Well, and you're not wrong. Those are good resources to have.
The weather radio, I always
Yes,
hit that because
Yes.
that's one of the first things I bought when I moved here 10 years ago.
Well, I would say the biggest and probably the best tool that we have right now is called Nixle. It's a text messaging alert system. It's really simple. You visit the website at nixle.com.
Let's spell that for people.
It's nixle.com. And you send your zip code to the telephone number that they provide for you, and then you're set up with a text message alert if there's any kind of severe weather emergency or a severe emergency situation. Other counties can use it for whatever they want. We choose to use it for severe weather alerts, amber alerts, severe emergency situations. That way people aren't bombarded with text messages, so that when they get a text message from Nixle, they know that it's something important.
And it's also email too, if you choose, and you can set up for more than one zip code if you happen to work somewhere or, and live in the other county, you can set up for more than one zip code.
I know we've got a Nixle account with some of our news sources here that we have in our building with WIW-TV and some of our other things. Is it faster than the other methods? Is it simultaneous? Is this, because I felt like when I've gotten some Nixle alerts, it's been very quick.
I would say it is the fastest because although when we send out a weather alert, we send it out through Nixle and we do Facebook and our website. Nixle is the one that people are going to probably see the quickest. It's right to your phone, which everybody always has their phone on them for the most part. And unless you have a Facebook alert set up, it's the quickest for me. I get the text message and I know immediately that there's some kind of weather emergency happening that I need to be aware of.
And it's as easy as people going online, sending their number, and boom, they're signed up.
There's also a really cool tool that the state set up. It's a travel advisory app, so you can get it on your iPhone or your Android pretty easily, and it's pretty neat. I like to put it right there on my first screen on my phone because it'll light up and it will let you know if there's a travel advisory in your county.
Yeah, and I've seen that with some of the weather situations that we've had through the winter. It's been very helpful just to see a county by county, and sometimes you take your chances and you say, oh, the app was right.
Right.
But we could even see some flooding. I mean, that's the season we're coming into too.
It's very true, we could.
What else do we need to know to get ready, and how emergency management and weather-wise can help?
Well, everybody's connected to Facebook too, so the Grant County Emergency Management Agency has a great Facebook page that they use, and they're going to use it a lot more frequently during Severe Weather Preparedness Week. And also their website is very helpful.
Yeah, we any weather information that we get comes directly from the National Weather Service. So if we're putting the information out on our Facebook and our website, we're getting it from one source as opposed to 15 or 16 different websites. So, and then we also make sure that we alert WBAT, and then they, in turn, will put the information out too. So, yeah.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds really silly in this day and age, but I would say also have a good old school radio with batteries.
That's
in addition
right.
to your weather radio, or you can get the dual system that does the weather radio that gets AM, because power could go out, data could go out, and that may be your only thing. Sometimes we think we got our phone, we're good.
Right.
But if all your apps are just pulling from that data, you might get the text message, you won't get some of the other stuff.
Well, and one thing to remember about the weather radios that I think a lot of people get confused with is that there actually are two stations that will work in Grant County. There's a station that comes out of Muncie, and there's a station that comes out of Fort Wayne. Our recommendation is whatever one works for you and wherever you are in the county, use it.
Yeah,
it's the same information.
Depending on where you are in town.
Depending on where you
it'll
are,
tell you.
one may come in stronger. They're both going to give you the same correct information.
Thanks so much. If you want to check out the WeatherWise tips, go to Facebook. It's facebook.com/WeatherWiseMarion, or they are on Twitter at WeatherWise. You see WeatherWise tips, and you can see that all there. And Nixle one more time, Nixle.
Yes.
So it's like nickel without a CK.
Sure.
That's the way my brain
There you
works.
go.
That probably
Sure,
will
there you go.
confuse most people, but I like it. Well, when we come back, Shaylee's going to get a lesson in self-defense. She needs it.
Jared Osborne from Peace Force Martial Arts gives us a demo. Well, welcome back to Crossroads. It's not every day that I get a lesson in self-defense, but Pastor Jared Osborne from College Wesleyan Church is here representing the Peace Force Martial Arts Ministry. So welcome, Jared.
Thanks.
Now, this is out of College Wesleyan. Talk a little bit about what this program is.
We have trained women in self-defense. That's one of the primary parts of what we do. Peace Force Martial Arts also has a weekly component, but really the biggest thing has been self-defense training. So basic survival type of self-defense, not a lot of traditional add-ons to the martial arts, but how to save your life.
So you're going to be showing us some things that you do in these classes or these seminars that you have. So you can go ahead and get started with what you have for today.
Great. Well, one of the most important parts when we're in a defense situation is to be able to what we call flip the switch. Most of life we don't interact in assertive ways with people. We're very kind and we're very loving and gentle and passive. But when somebody is threatening our life, we need to flip a switch in order to be assertive. So that switch is really important. The faster that you can do that and defend yourself strongly, the better you are of getting away. So one of the first things that we do in a seminar, which we'll do here, is practice flipping the switch, taking control of the environment, sort of telling the attacker, I'm not going to let you just shrink me and control me. Okay? So let's do this. Put your hands up like this. Step back, 1 foot back, just a little bit. Perfect. This is a great stance to get into if you're really feeling threatened or somebody is coming. And the first thing we do is a nice, loud, back off! Okay, try it.
Back off!
Good, and it has to be convincing. That sort of gives the person a line, says, ooh, don't cross here because I'm willing to stop you if I need to. Normally in life, we'd never do this, but when we're saving our life, yeah, we need to set a real strong boundary. Okay, so from here, the basic, most simple technique that we can learn is just a straight punch, but we'll do it open-handed, so we'll call it a palm strike. Okay, we're already here. We've clearly looked at a person. They can see it in our eyes that we're going to defend ourselves. If they keep coming, we may have to actually defend ourselves. Okay, so from here, let's do just with the left hand, straight punch to the nose. Try it with me. Yep. And then the right, even stronger. Now this might not seem very powerful, but if you clock somebody in the nose, it doesn't matter how big or how strong they are, you could break their nose very easily. Okay, so let's try this. When I'll count 1, and I want you to actually throw the punch with your left hand like this. Ha! Okay, I want you to yell to practice getting some power and creating some dominance. Ready? 1. Do you like that? Good. 2.
Ha!
3.
Ha!
4.
Ha!
5.
Ha!
Good, let's do the other hand. Ready? 1.
Ha!
2.
Ha!
3.
Ha!
4.
Ha!
5.
Ha!
Good, now look at me for a moment. Okay, I know this probably feels a little weird because you're not used to punching people in the face, which is good. But you could if you had to. If I was in this kind of range and kept coming after you told me to back off, boom, you could really break my nose if you had an opening. And even if you missed and hit my eye or hit me in the lip, that's probably going to deter me.
And how hard do you have to hit to break
Hard
those?
as you can. The pounds of pressure varies between 7 to 9 pounds to break a nose, so that's really not that much. Any woman of any size could generate that kind of force.
Got it.
And if you do, blood, tears, people are demotivated to keep going. So let's try this. Let's try this on an actual target, shall we? Okay, I didn't know if you knew we were going to do this, but let's try it. Just this hand. When I count, I want you to hit it as hard as you can and yell. Ready?
Okay.
1,
Ha!
2,
Ha!
3,
Ha!
4,
Ha!
5.
Ha!
Good. That's really strong. You would have broken a nose.
Yes.
That's great. That's
I'm
perfect.
glad.
Good. Okay, so once we set a boundary and give a person all these verbal cues, I want to slow it down for just a minute and talk about some of the dynamics that are going on in an attack.
Okay.
An attack is always a violent offense. It's not just someone putting out vibes or stepping over boundaries. It's actually a violent attack. What's most confusing for women is it disorients us when we're being attacked. It confuses us. Oftentimes it'll be humor will be used or just the unexpected, throw us off mentally. So when we set a boundary like this, what we're communicating to the attacker is, I am not the weak elk that's just going to go down without a fight. Just like wolves, oftentimes predators will go after somebody they think that won't put up a fight. So it doesn't always work, but statistically it's in your favor if you fight back and communicate that. So the first thing we learn is the back off. Then we've got some drills and attacks to use. So what I'd like to do now is just to give you a chance to ask any questions that you might have based on what we did.
I mean, have you really ever had people come back and tell stories like, I used this technique, or, you know, I felt threatened and I kind of got in the stance and they backed off? Any stories like that?
We've had some real stories, and a lot of them are actually not violent attacks, but they're boundary breaking. It's where people are being abusive in subtle ways, and the principles that we teach actually help clarify those things.
And I really think about flipping the switch, because when you are in that situation, I imagine it's a lot harder than to, oh, let me get, you know, what is your biggest tip for getting into the zone, for getting, oh, this could be a very dangerous situation?
Training. Anything comes through training and practice. It doesn't happen automatically. So just going through seminars, practicing simple techniques again and again, you don't need a lot of them.
And so if you liked what you learned today, they will actually be having classes, a seminar coming up for women in April, correct?
Right. Yep, April 18th.
Well, if you want to know more about how you can take these classes, you can go to peaceforcemartialarts.com. And thank you, Jared, for coming.
Thanks.
Well, when we come back, see how some local couples are getting a lesson in salsa. Welcome back to Crossroads. Randall, if there's anything that I've learned in my few years of working here at Crossroads, it's just that Marion has this way of really embracing the arts.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things going on, and we get to talk about many of them. The number of dance studios and kind of artistic places around here. Not what I've said this before on the show, you don't expect that in a town of 28,000 in the middle of Marion, Indiana.
And they're not just mediocre, they're really good programs for kids or really people of any ages. But what's really
makes
nice,
you want to learn to dance a little bit?
A little bit.
We've talked about our lack of rhythm before.
Yeah, not very good at that. But especially during this time of the year, people are just itching to get out anyway and to go do these things, and you know, even if that means lacing up their dancing shoes. Well, Faith in Motion is bringing the cha-cha to Marion by offering couples salsa lessons. But Marissa Hinderrocker found out it takes 10 weeks of teamwork and stepping on some toes before the beginners can move to the rhythm of the beat.
5, 6, front, and 1.
In 2011, Jeff McNutt vowed to love his wife in sickness and in health, and to take the extra step.
I promised Katie for our first anniversary that we would do dance lessons of some kind. And it's now 3.5 years that we've been married, so I'm finally cashing in on that promise.
That's where Faith in Motion came in.
Well, Jeff, it's about time he did this. I have a feeling he's really going to put himself into it. He's been really serious, and Katie's got a little fire.
So now, every Tuesday, couples of all ages come to the Faith in Motion studio in Marion to learn the steps. Whether they've been dancing a while,
we did waltz class with Faith in Motion a couple years ago, and then I've done ballet before this.
or are just getting the hang of it.
I've done Zumba.
For Jeff and Katie, it's about more than figuring out which foot goes where.
I have a little bit easier time picking up the beat and how it goes, so I kind of start to get into it, and then I try to take the lead from him sometimes, and that doesn't work out so well.
Okay, face forward. When they do the ballroom, there's a lot of interaction between the man and the woman about the different roles and the different ways that they handle interaction.
I would say for me, not only better knowledge of how to do salsa, but how to interact in our relationship, how to let Jeff lead and trust him in a different way than I have before.
Taking a spin around the dance floor is a lesson for marriage and a good excuse to take a night off.
I'm here for the dance. It's fun to just hang out with her. We're both really busy, so it's good to actually get time together and do something that builds relationship time.
Yeah, I wanted to do it because I love dancing.
And I didn't.
So I made him do it.
But so far it's been good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we decided to do it. So.
With 10 weeks to get it all down, these couples are putting in the work and the fun to stay in step. For Crossroads, I'm Marissa Hinderocker.
Shaylee, a really fun thing about that is in about 10 weeks when those lessons are over, some of the couples promise to come in here and demonstrate what they've learned.
I'm excited, especially to see their improvement. I mean, that looks hard. I don't think I could do that.
I don't think you could either. But I remember I don't think either of us could actually, given our non-dance background. I remember you swing dancing last year. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's where I don't have to do anything. I'm watching them and I'm thinking, oh, I'll leave it up to you guys.
So look forward to that in about 2.5 months, and we'll bring them here in the studio and see what they learn. In the meantime, we'd love to hear from you, what you think about the show. If you have ideas or want to let us know what you think, and want us to come out and cover something in your area, call us or email us at crossroads@nws.edu. That's crossroads, INDWS.edu. Or you can write us a letter or drop us a postcard at WIWU-TV, 4201 South Washington Street, Marion, Indiana, 46953.
And don't forget you can watch past episodes and check out all of our local programming by visiting our website. It's www.wiwutv.com/crossroads. That's wiwutv.com/crossroads. And while you're on the web, feel free to check out our Facebook and Twitter pages. You can get a behind-the-scenes look at what we do here, and that's facebook.com/wiwutv, and follow us on Twitter at wiwutv.
And we still got to endure a few kind of cool and rainy months, but I'm really looking forward to getting the show back on the road and for people telling us about festivals and things going on in the area. You've always enjoyed that too.
Yeah, and you know the warmer weather's back when we start getting to go outside and do on-location Crossroads.
In a few weeks, we'll be saying, oh, it's 55, got to get a jacket.
Oh, so
right now,
cold.
it's wonderful.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We will
no
all
complaints.
take it. Meanwhile, for everyone who's worked on this show, I'm Randall King.
And I'm Shaylee Clark. The Crossroads of Life bring people together, and that's what we try to do here each week.
Thanks for watching, everyone. So long.